Yo, what's good, my people? So this video right here is a full breakdown of chapter 11 of Think and Grow Rich, which is the mystery of sexual transmutation, right? Using semen retention to transmute sexual energy to accomplish your goals at an exponential rate, right? Now, the reason that I'm making this video, the reason I created this entire PowerPoint for all of you is because in my channel, I talk about semen retention a lot, and also in my own life, I have gone on many different semen retention streaks, and I know from personal experience that through semen retention, there is a distinct difference in my energy levels and my whole personality and everything. Being on semen retention and disciplining myself sexually or harnessing my sexual energy has been one of the most transformational things for myself in my personal life, you know? And I believe that harnessing your sexual energy as a man is one of the most that's one of the most powerful things you can do as a man is to harness your sexual energy and take that power and cultivate it and use it towards any purpose that you choose for yourself, you know? So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's get it. So, the 13 Steps to Riches, according to Napoleon Hill, in the book Think and Grow Rich. If you've never read Think and Grow Rich, I highly recommend that you read that book. It is a very transformational book. If you're a person who is wants to be successful, whether in your spiritual journey, in your business journey, financially, physically, whatever it might be, Think and Grow Rich is one of the best books that you could read to accomplish any of your goals. It is a blueprint. It's more than a book. It is a blueprint. Now, the 13 Steps to Riches, according to Napoleon Hill, that he outlines in the book. Number 1 is desire. 2, faith. Autosuggestion, aka visualization. Specialized knowledge. Imagination. Organized planning. Decision, which is the mastery, having a mastery over procrastination. Persistence, the mastermind. And in this video, what we're going to be we're going to be focusing on is chapter 10. Step number 10, which is sex transmutation. Number 11 is the mastery of subconscious mind. 12 is the mastery of knowledge of the brain as a broadcasting and receiving center for thoughts. And then number 13 is the sixth sense. Now, what is sex transmutation? We're going to break it down right now. For all my people, we're going to start from the very beginning, and then we're going to go more and more in depth in this video as to all the different avenues, all the different dimensions to what it all is, and how the importance of disciplining yourself sexually and everything like that, right? So, sex transmutation, as defined by Napoleon Hill on page 206 of Think and Grow Rich, if you have the book yourself, is the switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature, right? The definition of the word transmute is the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. In addition, and the definition of sex, as according to Merriam-Webster, is either of the two major forms of individuals that occur in many species, and you get the point. Everybody knows what sex is. So, sex transmutation, as Napoleon Hill says and defines, is switching your mind from the thought of, for example, right, when you at the gym and you see a girl and her body crazy, you know she a workout girl, you know that she go crazy in the gym, she in there 7 days a week, you feel me? And her body crazy, and you look at her and you just like, damn, I'm trying to smash whatever. You want to mac, you want to do whatever you want to do, right? Sex transmutation essentially is taking that lust that you have when you see that woman who is very pleasing to the eye and very physically attractive, and instead of using that energy that you, instead of getting that energy that you get from your natural sexual urges to pursue a woman and have sex with a woman and whatnot, instead it's using that energy to accomplish whatever goal or whatever desire that you have for yourself. You feel me? So instead of using that sexual energy to smash that baddie, it's using that sexual energy to instead get big in the gym, instead build that business or whatever it might be. You feel me? Now, connotations behind sex, and I want you all to stop the cap because all of you know who all three. I'm gonna say 90%. No, I'm not even gonna say all. I'm gonna say 90% of y'all know who all three of these women right here are. 90% of you know who all three of these women are. 90% of y'all. 90% of y'all. Why? And for the small majority of people who don't know who these people are, these are all very famous porn actresses, right? These are all very famous porn actresses. They getting paid the most because they go the hardest. You feel me? Now, I say connotations behind sex because when the average person thinks sex, obviously the average person is just gonna think what these women right here get paid to do and get paid to show you. It's just having sex and having sex and just that lust feeling, that just you smashing whatever, right? But it's deeper than that. Sex is an entire emotion, just like anger or happiness. Sex itself is an emotion. You know, when you see that baddie and you might get horny or whatnot, or you might be laying down in bed at night, right? You might be laying down in bed at night and you get horny and you wanna shit. I know I've been there. You wanna let one out before you go to sleep so you can go to sleep. Not that should knock you out, right? You gotta understand that energy right there is an emotion. That's an emotion right there. That's an energy in motion. That's an emotion. You feel me? That's an energy right there. Sex is the entire energy that you can use for many different things in your life besides just having sex, besides just the act of procreation. You feel me? Now, how do we get to this point? Ask yourself, how do we get to this point where where there's women that are selling just straight nudes. There's women that are selling, not even having sex no more. There's women just selling nudes, selling pictures of themselves in a bikini. My nigga, how did we get to this point? Is what you must ask yourself. And the answer to that is the power of sex is the power of the sex emotion is just this powerful. It's so powerful that that niggas pay top dollar just to see a woman in a bikini online when you can go to the beach and see that, or you can walk into any grocery store, you can walk into any store, see a baddie, go get the number, and then you can bro, you gotta understand how powerful the emotion of sex really is. You feel me? Sex is so powerful that there's an entire industry, the porn industry, that it's a $1 billion-trillion industry that makes money off niggas like probably niggas like you that watch porn every day and beat they meat and let out all their energy. It's what you must understand. Sex is so powerful. It is that this is the power that you use to create another life, another version of yourself. And these people take advantage of that. You look on Instagram, you look on any social media, bruh. The women who get the most attention are the ones who got the fattest ass. They're the ones who got the fattest ass and know all the different angles and whatnot to make the ass look fatter, like and all this different shit. Like, you feel me? You feel me? You feel me? You know? But let's continue. So now, 3 constructive potentialities of the emotion of sex. Number one, the perpetuation of humankind, obviously procreation, making a baby. Number two, the maintenance of health as a therapeutic agent, aka using sex to say you stressed out or something, or you have some type of ailment or whatnot, and all this. You gotta understand that sex is a very powerful thing. When you have sex with the right woman with the right energy and whatnot, bruh, that girl can take your day from 0 to 10. You feel me? She can get rid of anything. And number three, which is what we focusing on in this video, because this is what we doing. This is what we doing right here. Is the transformation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation. This is exactly what we're doing. Let me read that one more time. The transformation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation, aka going from going from 0 to 100, going from like Goku, going from regular base form all the way to Super Saiyan, my nigga. Going from LeBron James before he met his wife, going from LeBron James back when he was way younger to LeBron James now, the best basketball player in the league, or whatever, right? The transformation of mediocrity into genius. Mike Tyson, my nigga right here. My nigga Mugiwara no Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy. All my One Piece anime fans, y'all know. Y'all know. Y'all know in the anime One Piece, and One Piece is my favorite anime. In the anime One Piece, you know that my nigga Luffy don't mess with no females. He don't mess with no women. And look at him. This nigga fuck everybody up, and it don't, bruh. That's a video for another day. I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a video on the spirit. I'm gonna make a spiritual breakdown on One Piece. Facts. Facts. But anyways, yes, the transformation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation is one of the three constructive potentialities of the emotion of sex, which is proven by all these people on the screen right now that you are looking at. Sex is the most powerful of all desires. Out of all desires, sex is the most powerful. We must understand that we are all by default. We all have a biological prerogative to have sex and procreate. Us men, we have a biological prerogative to sleep, to have sex with as many women as possible and get as many women as possible pregnant. And women have a biological prerogative to receive seed from a man and cultivate that seed into what will later grow into an infant child. You feel me? Through desire for sex, man develops five things: keen imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and high amounts of creativity. My nigga, tell me this. I've been here before too. So all my guys out there, don't lie to yourself. I've been there before. I've done this. You know when that baddie, yo, like you horny, or you that bad, like you horny or something, right? You get horny late night, and then you send your text to all those girls. You send your text to those girls and whatever, right? You send your text out to those girls that you trying to hit. That you trying to hit. You feel me? You can only pick one, so you gotta. So you just in case this one sleep, or this one busy or something, or this one say nah, you gotta hit. You gotta hit multiple, right? So you hit these girls, and then that one baddie, she say yeah, pull up, right? You gotta understand that through your desire for sex, you just exercised all five of these things. Number one, keen imagination, bro. You had to imagine first. You had to imagine first. All right, what am I? Who am I fucking with? Am I fucking with Ashley, the baddie? The baddie, she give the best. Goddamn. Or do I want to fuck with Cindy over here? Her ass dummy fat, whatever. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You gotta you imagine this. You visualize all these different things. And then number two, courage. Number two, courage. My nigga, you sending that risky text. You sending that risky text to all these women. You sending that risky text to all these women. Like, yo, to some of y'all it's risky. Like that's exercising courage. It might not be courage to y'all, because y'all, all my guys out there who's really about who is about that life. Like, shit normal to you, but still, like that's exercising courage. You feel me? Number three, willpower. My nigga, my nigga, my nigga. You about to you about to go out and use your will to pull up on shorty, like, bro, you gonna, or she gonna pull up on you, whatever. Number four, persistence, bro. Persistence. My nigga, if you really horny, you really want to get, when you really want to smash, my nigga, you gonna hit multiple females. So, like, one might say no, this one might, whatever. You gonna hit multiple of them. You gonna, like, you say to yourself, yo, like, I'm trying to smash right now. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm gonna do that. You persistent. And number five, high amounts of creativity, bro. You might have, like, bro, sometimes shorty might be playing hard to get, and then you, next thing you know, you gonna hit her with a little finesse. You feel me? You gonna hit her with a little finesse in the text and whatnot. You gonna say this and that in order to fucking persuade shorty to let you come over and do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I've been there before. I've been there before. You feel me? That's just what we do sometimes. Now, sex is the most potent energy. Now, this is a quote from the book itself. A river may be dammed and its water controlled for a time, but eventually it will force an outlet. The same is true of the emotion of sex. It may be submerged and controlled for a time, but its very nature causes it to be ever seeking means of expression. If it is not transmuted into some creative effort, it will find a less worthy outlet. AKA, if you not, AKA, if you don't transmute your sexual energy into a higher purpose for yourself, like that business or your body or whatever it might be, then that energy gotta go somewhere. All my people who been on semen retention streaks and whatnot, you know that the longer your streak is on semen retention, the more sexual energy that you build up within your body, the harder it becomes, because you get all these urges and shit. You be horny, like you be trying to you be wanting to just you be wanting to just pull up on shorty instantly and just let out your everything. You feel me? Or or you might just give in, and you might just freaking go to the hub, and next thing you know, all your energy is going. You back to a lower vibrational version, bitch nigga, of yourself. You feel me? The emotion of sex is an irresistible force against which there can be no such opposition as an immovable body. When driven by this emotion, men become gifted with a superpower for action. Understand this truth, and you will catch the significance of the statement that sex transmutation will lift you to the status of a genius. Bruh, there's been times before I dead ass drove, bruh. I've driven like 40 minutes to an hour for the pussy. I've driven like an hour for the bruh. I've driven an hour for the pussy before. You feel me? Like, I've got up in the middle of the night and driven a good distance just to get the pussy. Oh God, like, this is what you need to understand, is that, like, when when you really when you feel that sexual energy within yourself, and you just trying to pull up on shorty and do what you gotta do, and you just letting that sexual energy guide you and move you forward, bruh. Like, my nigga, bruh, when you letting that energy move you forward and drive you, you'll move, my nigga. A nigga will move mountains out the way just to get the pussy. I know, I've been there. I understand. And this is what Napoleon Hill is saying, is that when a man can cultivate and discipline himself sexually and transmute this energy to somewhere else besides just trying to get that nut off, bruh, you become unstoppable. You're a genius. This is what you become right here. When you cultivate that sexual energy, this is what you become.
This fight to him, I was gonna rip his to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Yeah, that's exactly, bro. That's exactly what you become. You hear all the energy in Mike Tyson's voice when he was saying all that, bro. That's exactly what it is. That's what it's about. All that energy within him that he had, saying all that, bro. That's the power, bro. Mike Tyson was known to be on semen retention. He said it himself that like he wouldn't have sex for a very long time. I think he said something like he ain't had sex for like 3 years and won championships. Come on, man. Now, results of scientific research on the backgrounds of high achieving men. Let me take a sip of water real quick. The men of greatest achievement are those with highly developed sex natures, men who have learned the art of sexual transmutation. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and their professions were motivated by the influence of a woman. This is what you must understand. LeBron James said it himself that without his wife, he wouldn't be nothing. He wouldn't be the man he is if it wasn't for his wife. Nipsey said the same thing. Kobe had a good woman by his side. Even the honorable minister Malcolm X had a good woman by his side who stuck through even when the house was getting bombed. Nigga, that house was getting bombed. Niggas was pulling up to his house on some shit, and his wife still stuck through. She a soldier. Shit, crazy. You feel me? But and also Nipsey Hussle even said it himself as well. I highly recommend this book too. He said to read this book called The Way of the Superior Man. Right? The Way of the Superior Man. In that book, it also talks about how a woman can bring you a woman can elevate you. You must understand that through sex transmutation, it's two things. It's number one is it's accumulating that sexual energy within yourself through semen retention practices and whatnot, and putting that energy towards a worthy ideal, a worthy goal, right? And then number two, it's accumulating that sexual energy, or rather, focusing that sexual energy on on a woman, or on a woman who is a virtuous, high value woman who will take that sexual energy from you, right? And not only make a child out of it, but that woman will turn that house that you buy into a home. That woman will turn that house into a home. That woman will be there to give you a new perspective, or help you along your journey. When you out in the world and you doing what you do, you gotta understand, us guys, we not very emotional. Us guys be going through some shit. We be going through shit. I know I do. I be going through shit, but nobody really be knowing, because like us guys, we gotta be the one. We the ones that gotta be the strongest. We gotta be strong. You feel me? So we be going through it though. So if you out in the world, you doing what you do, and then you come, and then imagine you doing what you do and whatnot, and say the world stressing you the fuck out, whatever that you doing, all the shit. Or maybe you have a setback in your business, a setback in whatever you're doing, and then imagine now you have the woman of your dreams. The woman of your dreams is a high value, virtuous woman who take care of you and serve you and do all these different things, waiting for you at the crib. Well, nigga, how you gonna feel? You gonna feel good as hell. You gonna be like, damn, I really got a rock. Like I really got a rock. I got the cat. That's the captain of my team. Like you the general. You the man. You the general. And your woman is the captain of the team. She a number one star. She a star player on your team. You feel me? That's what Napoleon Hill meant by motivated by the influence of a woman. Because us men, you gotta understand, like us men, like we all know, we we have a natural prerogative as well. Most men be be ambitious. Most of us men, like we're ambitious, we're purpose driven to a certain towards a certain ideal. You feel me? And sometimes along that path towards that certain ideal, we be going through it sometimes. You feel me? And having the right woman by your side will, bruh, having the right woman by your side will elevate you. You know what I'm saying? Having a woman that you can build with, not only build a family, not only build a family with, but a woman that you could really build something beautiful with, build a beautiful life with. You feel me? That's part of why I indulge into sexual transmutation. I mean sexual transmutation and semen retention myself because because I've transcended lust. I don't look at a woman no more as just like as a sexual object like I did before, like I used to. You know, I look at a woman for I want I'm wait like I'm eventually I'm manifesting a woman of my dreams who not only I'm gonna look at her just like damn, like she bad as hell. That's one aspect of it, but that's just the physical. That ain't shit. That's just the physical. But the woman of my dreams who I could build to, who be my best friend, the captain of my team, you feel me, my star player. I'm manifesting that by cultivating myself sexually, disciplining myself sexually. I'm manifesting that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Napoleon Hill was talking about when he spoke about the influence of a woman and how the influence of a woman can be so powerful in your journey, in your path towards the things in which you're doing or the things that you want to do. The sex emotion is an irresistible force. When driven by this emotion, men become gifted with a superpower for action that we already talked about. The emotion of sex contains a secret of creative ability. Destroy the sex glands, whether in man or beast, and you have removed a major source of action. Think about a dog, right? Think about a dog. When you neuter a dog, nah, think about a dog in general. When a dog in general is active, he gonna dig holes. If that dog in the field, he gonna run around the field. That dog naturally active. You feel me? He gonna hump the chair or whatever. He gonna do his thing. That dog is naturally very active. But then when niggas be when people neuter their dog, when people neuter their dog, then observe what happens to a dog after you neuter it. That dog becomes lackadaisical. That dog becomes lazy, less energetic. He just be laying around and shit. That dog don't really want to do nothing. You feel me? It's because you neutered him. You took away his sexual energy. You took away his sexual. That shit demonic. I don't know who came up with that idea. Like you doing it because whatever, it don't matter. Or look at a lion. A lion in the wild is the king of the jungle. But then you look at a lion look at this lion in the cage. You can see in his eyes, he's defeated, because this lion can't even express himself fully no more because he's in a cage. You feel me? He can't express the feelings and emotions he has sexually or whatever and whatnot. Just his natural biological prerogative, which is to survive and hunt and do what he does. You feel me? Because he's in a cage now. You feel me? Now, the 10 mind stimuli. The human mind responds to stimuli through which it may be keyed up to high rates of vibration known as enthusiasm, creative imagination, intense desire, etc. Now, the 10 mind stimuli are number one, the desire for sex expression, love, number two, love, number three, a burning desire for fame, power, financial gain, or money, or that's the same thing. Number four, music. Number five, friendship. Number six, a mastermind alliance, which is an alliance of you and other people, other like-minded individuals who you come together for a worthy ideal to accomplish a certain purpose. Number seven, mutual suffering. For example, people locked up in prison together. Number eight, autosuggestion, aka visualization. Number nine, fear. And number 10, narcotics and alcohol. Now look at these people right here. This is a prime example of the desire for sex expression and the power of that the power of of expressing yourself sexually, the power of sex and that whole desire for that. You see Flavor Flav for all my young heads, y'all probably don't know who this is, and y'all probably don't know what where this is from. This is from a show called Flavor of Love that used to be on back in the day, like back back when I was a kid. I'm 24. This came on back when I was like in elementary school or something. It's a and you know most people know who the guy on the right is though. That's the bachelor guy. And as you can see, they got women all around them. This is their natural. This is man's natural desire to express himself sexually. You feel me? Man's natural desire to express himself sexually, to have many women or have many women or have a woman that he can fully express himself sexually, fully express his masculinity, that masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? And then many people, or you also know many of y'all know Dan Bilzerian. Same thing, another prime example of desire for sex expression. Now, the transmutation of sex energy may lift one to the status of a genius. Now, Napoleon Hill's definition of genius is a person who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to the point where they can freely communicate with sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary rate of vibration of thought. AKA, a genius in Napoleon Hill's definition is a person who has the ability to to go from just thinking in terms of just their perspective of the way that they think and whatnot to getting higher knowledge, higher ideas, getting all these different ideas and whatnot, and coming up with different solutions to things based on based on based on being able to raise their mind to a higher frequency. And this is a spiritual thing. This has everything to do with the chakras. You feel me? Which are the seven energy centers of your body. Start to know if there's the seven main energy. There's over 160 chakras, but the main seven in your body are number one, starting with the lowest to the highest, is number one, the root chakra, then the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. Now, when it comes to these energy centers, these seven chakras, these seven main energy centers within your body, the root chakra, which is the very first chakra, deals with your sense of survival, desire, and whatnot. The sacral chakra deals with your sense of sexual expression, with your sense of feeling, like how the way in which you feel about the way that how you express how you feel in a way, you know. The 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 solar plexus chakra deals with yet the I am, like your identity, who you look at yourself as. Do you see yourself as a powerful person? Are you confident in yourself? Do you love yourself? All this different stuff. That energy comes from the sacral chakra. I mean the solar plexus chakra. And then there's the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the key to accessing your higher self, the higher version of your mind comes through the heart chakra because the heart chakra deals with love and connection to other people, oneness and whatnot. You feel me? The heart through the heart chakra, through the heart is how you reach God through the heart. You feel me? Cause as you can see, there's seven chakras, right? The heart chakra is the one that's in the middle. There's three lower chakras and three higher chakras, and the heart chakra is the one that's in the middle. So when it comes to the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra, if your energy, if the main energy which you admit and express comes from these lower chakras, that's you essentially you expressing yourself. That's your lower self desires. You're living in your lower self if you only really express yourself through these lower three chakras. And you're living in your higher self if you are able to express yourself through these higher three chakras, being the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. With the throat chakra, which controls your sense of communication, the way in which you speak, your voice, your vocal vibrations. And then there's a third eye chakra, which is your intuition, your ability to see without having to look with your two eyes. You feel me? Your ability to see through situations, your ability to see through people, your ability to cut to the chase, your ability to simply your it's that eye that you use to see your dreams. Because when you're dreaming, You don't, when you're dreaming, you're not using your two eyes to see in that dream. So what eye are you using? You're using your third eye, the pineal gland. And then there's your crown chakra, which is essentially your your sense of spirituality. When you're in meditation and you are in when you're in meditation, you're observing and you're getting to the core of your being and under and the essence of who you really are, which is an infinite being. You are God. You are God. You are God manifested into this physical vessel. This is what you must understand. You are God manifested into this physical vessel in order to accomplish a certain goal, a certain whatever, in order to learn and in order to learn and do what and accomplish your destiny, whatever journey that you are on specifically. You feel me? Now, when it comes to the sacral chakra, this is the sex chakra. You feel me? This controls your sexual expression, how you express yourself sexually. Now, this deals with your sense of passion about things. What are you passionate about? What what are the things that you get passionate about? Your sense of creativity, your sexuality, your emotions. And this chakra is blocked by having by overindulging in certain things that are not good for you, such as fast food, drugs, cigarettes, things of that nature. Being greedy, being having this sense of greed, like you living in lack. You living in lack within your mind. Therefore, you think that you therefore you just want more, 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 more. You want more, 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 more because within your mind within your mind you're lacking. You feel that you lack within your mind, therefore you want more, 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 more. You feel me? And negative emotions. Now, let's run this back. Let me connect the let me help y'all connect how this all works when it comes to the higher self, lower self, and whatnot. Real quick. So when it comes to the sacral chakra, like I said before, the heart chakra is the key to your higher self. When you act through love in everything that you do, when you act through love in everything that you do, that is how you access your higher self, you know? But when you're acting simply just strictly through lust, just lustful thoughts, just the only thing you think about when you see a woman is you just want to have sex with her. When you acting through just that lust, instead of seeing a woman and thinking, damn, that's a goddess. I'd love to get to know, like that's a goddess. She's physically attractive. She's physically attractive. She's very pleasing to the eye. I want to get to know her, possibly form a connection and whatnot, see who she really is on a spiritual level, on a soul level, and then if we vibe, if we match, then 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 shit, I'm gonna express my love, express how I feel for her through my sexuality and whatnot. You feel me? Things like that, you know. But when you're just like when you just express this energy, your sexual energy in a lustful way, you must understand that you're keeping yourself at a lower rate of vibration. You're keeping yourself at your lower self, your lower sexual. Those are your lower sexual urges. You're you're no different than an animal. You're no different than an animal when all you doing is just going off of lust and just having sex and just having sex just based off of how physically attractive a woman is. You feel me? You're no different from an animal at that point. Now, dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter naturally created and excreted by the body to be used by the nervous system. Dopamine is the pleasure chemical. You know, dopamine is that chemical that gets released whenever you do something that makes you feel happy. When you feel that sense of happiness, that's dopamine being released within your mind, within your body. How it's created? It's created in a two-step process in which the brain changes the amino acid tyrosine to a substance known as dopa, which is then converted into dopamine. Why do you think that they call drugs, the nickname for drugs is dope? Is because when a person does something like crack or cocaine or meth and whatnot, what those drugs do to your brain is they take advantage of your reward center, your dopamine receptors, and a excess amount of dopamine within your brain that makes you feel this sense of happiness, a sense of feeling good and whatnot. And the same exact thing happens when it comes to sex, when it comes to busting that nut. When you watch porn and you masturbate and you letting out your energy, and you bust it and you bust one, what's happening is dopamine is getting released in your brain because your body thinks that you just got a woman pregnant. So when you release, your body releases dopamine to make you feel good, within your mind. You know, your body doesn't know the difference between porn and a real woman. Your body thinks that porn is an actual real woman that you're having sex with when you masturbate or whatever that you do. You must understand that if you're a person who is addicted to sex, addicted to to just releasing all the time, masturbating and whatnot, then that is no different than being a drug addict, because the drug addict is addicted to the dopamine rush that he gets when he does that drug, when he hits that pipe and whatnot. And you're addicted to that dopamine rush that you get when you bust that nut. You feel me? Now, the function of dopamine. Dopamine plays a role in how we feel pleasure and is a big part of our unique human ability to think and plan. It helps us strive, focus, and find things interesting. Now, another thing about dopamine is and how detrimental masturbation is when it comes to your dopamine levels is when you're a person who frequently masturbates, you're overloading your dopamine receptors. So after you when if you're a person who frequently masturbates or you're addicted to sex and whatnot, then you probably tend to find things way less interesting. You go outside, you look at the trees, and you just think like, yes, it ain't nothing. You look up at the sky, you think, man, whatever. You look at around you, you just think, whatever. Like nothing really can make you. Nothing really makes you happy except for certain things which release dopamine in your body. But when in reality, if your dopamine centers were balanced and not overstimulated, and your body was releasing dopamine in a normal way, then you can feel happy, ecstatic, and just feel all this positive energy within yourself just by looking up at the sky. Like, have you ever just looked up at the night sky and just looked at the stars, looked at the moon in the sky, and just thought, like, damn, like, what is all of this? Like, have you ever just looked at yourself and questioned, like, how am I existing? How is it that I'm aware of myself? How is it that I can do all the things in which I do? You feel me? Like, have you ever just, have you ever, yeah, bro, like, have you ever just looked up at the sky, looked at the moon, and just thought, have you ever just looked at the stars and the moon and just thought, like, bro, like, what is that? Like, why is that there? Who put that there? Who created that? And just felt like this sense of just like happiness or whatever, just within yourself, just like, damn, bro, like, life is really a beautiful thing, because it don't matter. Like, really think about also, it don't matter. Like, think about all the setbacks, all the negative things that you went through in life, all the ups and downs and whatever, anything that might have happened in your life. You feel me? Think of anything that might have happened in your life in the past, that's just in the past now. Regardless of all those things happening, life still continued to move forward. There were still babies being born. There's still trees growing. There's still vegetation growing. The sun is still shining. The moon is still shining. The stars are still shining in the sky. All these different things. All these different things. Your heart is still beating. You're still breathing in that life force from the atmosphere. All these different things. Like, there's so many. Just the simple act of existing and being alive itself is one of the most beautiful things in this world. You feel me? But so many of us just have a lack of gratitude. I mean, yeah, have a lack of gratitude for just the small things, for just simply being alive, because we indulge ourselves into into these tranquilizers that we call food, the Mick devils of the world, the Wen devils, all this poisonous ass food that a lot of us eat, the motherfucking eating pizza and shit freaking masturbating to porn, doing drugs maybe, overindulging in food and drinking motherfucking soda, which is nigga. Would you water a plant with Coca-Cola? No, the fuck you wouldn't, nigga. No, you would not. You would not water a plant with Coca-Cola because you know that plant gonna die. So why do you drink it? That thing is not doing nothing beneficial for you except giving you a rush of dopamine, an artificial rush of dopamine through the sugar. You feel me? And this is what I'm talking about right here. Dopamine addiction. Like so many of us are these people right here. All these people, you have alcoholics. You have your people who is alcoholics. You have your people who is drug addicts. You have your people who is addicted to a lot of people in our generation. A lot of people in our generation is addicted to the phone, addicted to social media. There'd be people on social media, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, who look like they living their best life doing all this shit, but then behind the scenes they actually depressed. I know, nigga, my ex-girlfriend was one of them. You feel me? Like this shit crazy, bro. Like I met like I seen it myself. I literally witnessed myself. Like you look on the gram, you look on TikTok, it look like they living their best life. It look like they happy, they looking good and all this, but behind the scenes they depressed and want to kill themselves. This shit crazy, bro. Then there's people like this addicted to the television and just tell lies to your vision. You know what I'm saying? People who's addicted to just people addicted to video games, all this artificial stuff within this world. You know what I'm saying? It's all just dopamine. Yes, you must understand that whenever you eat that pizza or you take that drug or you drink that drink or you scrolling on Instagram and you see you getting likes or you playing that video game or you watching that movie on TV, all the only reason that you feeling good is because you're getting a hit of dopamine. You feel me? You're getting a hit of dopamine to your system. A hit of artificial happiness. It's not true happiness, it's not true fulfillment. It's artificial. You feel me? Now, this is the addiction cycle right here. Now this picture, this is about like when it comes to when it comes to junk food and whatnot. But this same cycle applies to just about anything. Porn. Let's just switch the cupcake to a picture of motherfucking the Pornhub logo, nigga. Now the addiction cycle, it starts with, say, stress. Say you just failed a test, or say something happening to you in your life, or you just feeling horny or something, right? What happens from there is a response, a chemical hormonal response happens in your brain. Like that's what when you getting horny, it's all a chemical response and whatnot, right? You get horny, you feel whatever stimulus, you feel horny and whatnot, right? And then boom, what do? You go straight to porn, right? Or you feel whatever you feel horny, you go straight to porn and then you masturbate, you let out all your energy. You masturbate, you let out all your energy and you feel good for a minute. You feeling good for a minute, you like whatever, right? You feeling good as hell for a minute, but then next thing you know, your energy is depleted. You feeling tired. The next day you wake up, you don't feel good about yourself. You feeling like you don't got full respect for yourself because you know what you just did. You just masturbated to some porn that don't give you no fulfillment in doing that because you know your body thinks that you just procreated and had a baby, but you know that you just watched some porn which is fake. It's artificial. It's fake. It doesn't exist. It's fake. You feel me? So is now you subconsciously start feeling bad about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You subconsciously start feeling bad about yourself and whatnot. But then you also must understand that is that after you busted that nut, after you watched that porn, after you masturbated, and that you got that dopamine hit, your brain is designed to go back to if say me working out gives me a dopamine hit level of 5, right? And say watching porn and masturbating gives me a level 10 dopamine hit. Your brain is designed to seek out the highest form of dopamine, the highest form of pleasure and whatnot. So your brain is going to learn that, okay, what I gotta do to get that dopamine again, or I gotta go on this porn and masturbate and get that hit again, whatever, right? So like you're learning, you're teaching yourself subconsciously, you're teaching yourself to seek to that whenever you get horny, that you're gonna watch porn instead of getting horny and feeling that sexual energy within yourself and putting that towards your purpose, or putting that or even pursuing a woman, or actually going out and getting a woman to have sex with. Instead of you teaching yourself to, instead of doing these things, what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn on some porn and masturbate. That's what you're teaching your body. You feel me? And then all those negative feelings associated with it, all that's what will contribute to, that's what could contribute to stress. And then what's gonna happen, or any type of stress happen in your life. And what happens when you feel stressed out? You want to feel good again, right? So what so what you gonna do? You just taught yourself to seek out porn to feel good about yourself. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go watch some porn and masturbate and repeat the cycle over and over and over again, and that is addiction. You feel me? Now, when it comes to all of this, right? It's a spiritual thing. Semen retention is a very spiritual thing. You must understand that when you're on a semen retention journey, sexual energy journey of transmuting that energy and cultivating yourself spiritually and whatnot, what you're doing is you're raising your vibration. You're raising your vibration. As you can see, after you masturbate to some porn and you feeling bad about yourself and whatnot, a lot of bruh, you gonna feel when you see at the bottom of the vibrational scale, there is shame. There's shame there. And then after that is guilt. You're gonna feel bad up, you're gonna feel shameful about yourself. You're not gonna feel good about yourself for doing that. Then there's guilt, grief, desire and whatnot. You feel me? you when you're addicted to masturbation, or when you constantly letting out your energy, you must understand that what you're doing is you kind of you're trapping yourself at these lower states of vibration, because you can raise your vibration to the state of desire. And then but what do you desire? You desire to have sex. You desire to have sex, to let out that energy. But then what are you gonna do? How are you gonna fulfill that desire? What you're gonna do is you're gonna go watch porn and then bring yourself all the way back down to the lowest vibration. You're living at a low vibration when you're just watching porn and masturbating and whatnot. It is not until you discipline yourself sexually that you can raise your vibration. You raise your vibration. Say you feel anger. You feeling angry. You feeling angry. Just like, damn. Like, I feel it. I really. I'm addicted to porn. I'm masturbating and whatnot. This is man, what the fuck am I doing, bro? I shouldn't be doing this shit. And then you feel. And then next thing you know, you say, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing this. And that's courageous. It's a courageous thing to want to fight that addiction and face that demon. When you facing your demons, your addiction demons, or whatever it might be, that's a courageous thing that you're doing. That's a high vibration. You raising your vibration by being courageous. You feel me? That next thing you know, you willing to you on your semen retention journey. You willing to continue. Willing to say, you know what? Let me stop. Let me leave the girls alone. Let me leave the porn alone. Let me leave all that alone. And now you're willing to keep cultivating your energy. And then you accept yourself. You come into a state of acceptance. You like damn, I feel good. You know what? You like, yeah, I accept. I'm not going to indulge into all this other stuff no more. I accept what I was doing in the past, but I'm not that no more. Right? And then you come into a higher and higher states of vibration. You start to feel love again for yourself. You start to love the longer you go on your streak, or even if you're not retaining it, you just putting that energy towards a good woman or whatever, or just putting that energy towards transmuting that energy towards whatever you want to do for yourself. You feeling good about yourself, man. You feeling joyful. You feeling good. Like you start now. You loving yourself again. You raising your vibration. You raising your vibration, man. Now, genius is developed through the sixth sense. Let me take a sip of water one time. You feel me? The sixth sense, aka creative imagination. The faculty of creative imagination is the direct link between the finite mind of humans and infinite intelligence, aka God, the creator, Jah, whatever you want to call it. All so-called revelations referred to in the realm of religion and all discoveries of basic or new principles in the field of invention take place through the faculty of creative imagination. Now, you must understand when when the Buddha when the Buddha reached enlightenment, it was through him going within himself. It was through him going within himself, cultivating himself, releasing himself of desires and whatnot, using his imagination, releasing himself of desires and cultivate himself and raising his vibration through getting rid of desire, getting rid of all these different things that was holding him back from being the happiest version of himself, the best version of himself. My nigga, when Jesus in the Bible was doing all these miracles and whatnot, do you think that you think Jesus knew he could do all these things? Nobody around Jesus was doing this shit. Nobody around him was doing the things that he was doing. He got to that point because he realized that he was God, just like you are God, just like I am God. He realized that he was God. And then he was taught how to do these things by other people who also realized that they were God. In the mystery schools and whatnot, he got taught to do all these different things, and it was through his imagination. It was through his imagination, like Jesus said. Like Jesus said, it's through him that you reach that you can't reach God without going through him. Jesus being the heart chakra. You feel me? Your imagination. You know, Jesus had to first imagine doing these miracles and all this different stuff first before he actually did it, before he actually taught him, went and got taught how to do these things. You feel me? Now, source of hunches, infinite intelligence, the subconscious mind, the mind of somebody else which release a conscious thought in the subconscious mind of others, is a source of hunches. You feel me? When it comes to many of the inventions from highly successful people, you know, whether it be Nikola Tesla, whether it be philosophical inventions, spiritual inventions that came from Jesus, the Buddha, it all came from from that higher mind when they vibrated their mind to higher planes of thought, higher planes of thinking, and now they have it's a direct link with God, a direct link with their inner self, their subconscious mind and whatnot. Now, creative imagination. The creative imagination functions best when the mind is vibrating due to some form of mind stimulation at an exceedingly high rate. That is, when the mind is functioning at a rate of vibration higher than that of ordinary normal thought. When brain action has been stimulated through one or more of the 10 mind stimulants, it has the effect of lifting the individual far above the horizon of ordinary thought and permits them to envision distance, scope, and quality of thoughts not available on the lower plane, such as that occupied while engaged in solving the problems of business and professional routine. When creative imagination continue, when lifted to this higher level of thought, through any form of mind stimulation, an individual occupies relatively the same position as someone who has ascended in a plane. While still on the ground, they may see over and beyond the horizon line which limits their vision. Moreover, while on this higher level of thought, the individual in not hampered or bound by in the individual not being hampered or bound by and of the stimuli that circumscribe and limit their vision while wrestling with the problems of gaining the three basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter, which is your lower chakra, that survival mechanism, or just your lower three chakras, your lower desires. They are in a world of thought in which the ordinary workaday thoughts have been as effectively removed as are the hills, valleys, and other limitations of physical vision when rising in an airplane. And this means you must understand that when you vibrate high, then the normal everyday things that bother the everyday average person don't bother you. They can't fuck with you. They can't fuck with you. For example, there's a lot of stuff on the news, as we all know, about a certain disease, a certain virus, and a certain agenda that is being pushed forward. If you're a person, the average person is going to watch the news and be in fear automatically because of the things that they are saying on that news station. And because of that fear that they feel, they're going to act out of that fear and do whatever that news station tells them to do and conform to anything that that news station or anything that this government tells them to do. While the person who vibrates high and understands that there is nothing to really worry about because it is all in your hands. Your health is in your hands. The body is naturally designed to fight off any disease, to fight off any sickness. Do you know how many diseases, pathogens, and sicknesses come into your body on a daily basis that your body fights off because of your immune system? The person who vibrates on a higher plane understands this. And vibrating on a higher plane, they're not influenced by the stuff that is on the news, that is placed on the news, that is placed in front of them. Therefore, they are able to come up with higher thoughts and come up with other ideas and solutions and whatnot for whatever problems or anything that or anything new that they want to build or just anything that's going on within their life. While on this exalted plane of thought, the creative faculty of the mind is given freedom for action. The way has been cleared for the sixth sense to function. It becomes receptive to ideas that could not reach the individual under any other circumstances. The sixth sense is a faculty that marks the difference between a genius and an ordinary individual. The sixth sense being, essentially, say there's an invention or something, a project that you're working on, right? And you have no idea how to get through a certain point. And say you go into meditation or you go into deep thought and you stop you rid your mind of the lower pleasures, the lower desires, the oh, I gotta pay the or this bill or damn, like she bad, I'm trying to have sex with her or sex with this is and that, all these different things or and whatnot. And you rid your mind of these things and you focus your mind on whatever it is that you want. You will receive the answer which you are looking for. When you create space, when you open yourself to receive, you will receive. That is how this works. When you open yourself to receive, you will receive. But you must clear out the garbage. You must clear out the bullshit. This is what he meant. This is what Napoleon Hill meant when he spoke of being on a higher plane of thought. A higher vibration is like ascending in an airplane. When you're in the airplane, you're simply flying over all this land and getting to your destination faster, quicker, more efficient, and whatnot than you could if you was walking or in a car. The more this faculty is used, the more alert and receptive the creative faculty becomes to vibrations originating outside the individual's subconscious mind. And the more the individual relies upon it and makes demands upon it for thought impulses. This faculty can be cultivated and developed only through use. If you don't use it, you lose it. You must use your mind. Your mind is a tool. Your brain is the most advanced computer in this world. There is no computer faster or stronger than your brain. When you get rid of all the garbage in your mind, get rid of all the bullshit, and you focus your mind upon whatever it is that you choose to be a worthy ideal or a worthy purpose, a worthy focus, then you open yourself to receiving, you will receive thoughts, ideas, hunches, and all these different things simply by opening your mind, simply by being open to receive. You will receive all these things. That which is known as one's conscience operates entirely through the faculty of the sixth sense. The great artists, writers, poets, and musicians become great because they acquire the habit of relying upon the still, small voice which speaks from within through the faculty of creative imagination. It is a fact well known to people who have a keen imagination that their best ideas come through so-called hunches. Let me tell you a story. So I remember I was in nature before, right? This is about a month or two ago, like 2 months ago, maybe. Yeah, like 2 months ago. I was in nature, right? And I I drove my car there, right? And I drove my car. I parked in the in the parking lot, and then I had went on a nice nature hike by myself, right? And the thing is, I was walking back to my car at the end of my hike, right? And I found that I didn't have my keys. I got one. I was looking in my pocket. I was about to get to my car, and I go in my pocket to reach for my keys, and I found that my keys weren't in my pocket. So upon seeing that my keys weren't in my pocket, my mind, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm saying like the very first thought that I had, like the very first thought upon realizing that my keys were not in my pocket was check the car. Was check the car. That was my very first thought that I had, right? But then but I went against that. I went against that thought. And instead what I did was I went all the way back to where to where I was before on my hike. I went all the way back and started I was looking on the floor. I was looking on the ground and stuff. I'm looking all on the ground and whatnot. I'm looking for my keys. I couldn't find them when I went back and backtracked. So I came all the way back to my car, still looking for my keys on the ground, just hoping I'm finding these keys on the ground, right? And then I get back to the car. I'm just like, damn, like if they're not in the car, then shoot, I'm gonna have to go get a spare or something. Long and behold, I get to my car, and where are my keys? My keys is right there in the cup holder of my car. That small, I had my intuition, my gut, my mind. I got a hunch. That voice within my mind told me. That small voice within my mind told me, check the car. I remember the very first. I'm talking like the very first thought that I had at the moment that I realized my keys weren't in my pocket was check the car. That was the very first thought that I got, but I went against it. And long and behold, they were in the car the entire time. So that's just one example of of what Napoleon Hill was saying when he said they acquire the habit of relying upon the still small voice. It's that voice in your mind. You ever notice that like when you going through something, you're doing something, and you or something happened in your life, and your intuition start talking to you, and it tell you something, it tell you a little something something, like you talking to somebody, and like your gut just tell you that don't not to trust this person, but then you trust them anyway. And next thing you know, they end up stealing some shit. They end up doing some fuck shit to you later on in the future. It's that gut feeling. That intuition don't normally lie, you know? These are people right here that all relied upon that intuition and that voice within their mind and who vibrated on higher planes of thought, higher planes of being. They all vibrated they all vibrated up here. Their minds were in that airplane when it came to solving the problems that they had for their specific life purposes. You have the Honorable Dr. Sabi, who was one of my spiritual teachers, one of my mentors, myself through me watching all of his, not all, but a bunch of his videos and educating myself on the alkaline diet. You know, before Dr. Sabi, I had no idea about about how the body is supposed to be alkaline and the power of healing the body through or having or feeding the body what it's supposed to be fed so that the body can heal itself. I had no idea about that before Dr. Sabi. At the Honorable Malcolm X, which is another one of my teachers through me watching many of his lectures or many of his his preachings, many of his of the interviews and whatnot that he had. You know, he's Malcolm X is one of the people that that contributed to my strong love and my desire for knowledge of self and higher knowledge and my love for not only myself but for all of my melanated beings, all of my melanated guys out here, you know. Then we have the warrior Shaka Zulu and whatnot. We have musical artists here who vibrate on higher planes, who vibrate on the higher planes of being. You know, we got everybody know J. Cole, we got J. Cole, we got Bob Marley, R.I.P., Ray Charles. You feel me? Then we have some more people who are just like who are more some more freedom fighters like Malcolm X. We had the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad on the left right here. We have uh, Louis Farrakhan right here in the middle. Then we got Marcus Garvey over here too. You know, these are people whose minds travel in that airplane that Napoleon Hill was speaking about. If you know about Khalid Muhammad, I highly recommend watching any content, any many of the speeches or many of the interviews that of people who interview Khalid Muhammad, who is this dark skinned man on the left. You know that he was a person whose mind literally you could tell his mind was that airplane, bro. It don't matter what it don't matter what the naysayer said to him. His mind was on that airplane. His mind was this. You feel me? These people was is people who R.I.P. to these people. I know Farrakhan's still alive, but R.I.P. to Khalid Muhammad, Marcus Garvey. These are people who influenced me greatly in my own personal journey. And we got some other people, Denzel, Dave Chappelle. You feel me? Now, genius versus normal thinking. The genius works through his faculty of creative imagination, while the crank or average person knows nothing of this faculty. The average person, the average person uses his imagination for menial, just small tasks. You feel me? But the genius is the person who fully uses his imagination to accomplish any goal that he might have for himself. The reasoning faculty is often faulty because it is largely guided by our accumulated experience. Not all knowledge that we accumulate through experience is accurate. Ideas received through the creative faculty are much more reliable because they come from sources more reliable than any available to the reasoning faculty of the mind. Gotta think about it like this. From the time that you was born to now, wherever you are sitting down watching this video, your mind has been recording. Even when you're not conscious, even when you're sleeping, your mind is still recording. Your mind has been recording. You've been going through all these different experiences, learning all these different things through people, through people, places, and things, learning all these different things, going through all these different experiences. And if you're the average person who went through the school system in America, especially if you're a black person, then you don't got no knowledge of who you are. You have no knowledge of what it means to be a black person. You have no knowledge of your true history. You just think that you started off as a slave or something. You know, you have no true knowledge because of the faulty experiences that you had at the hands of the school system and many and maybe many of the family members that you had as well who went through that same school system or just never acquired knowledge of self, never acquired higher knowledge. You feel me? Never never read Napoleon Hill's book, never listened to a lecture by Marcus Garvey, a lecture by Malcolm X or Louis Farrakhan or nobody like that, or Dr. Sabi, anybody like that. You know? Now, the genius method to solving problems. Number one, organize and combine known ideas or principles accumulated through experiences through the synthetic or reasoning faculty. And number two, if accumulated knowledge through the synthetic faculty is insufficient to solving your problem, draw upon knowledge available through the creative faculty. This means if this means get a notebook out, write down, and you have a problem, write down all the info that you might know, or write down what you believe or what you believe, how you believe to solve this problem and whatnot. And if you don't have enough information based on your experiences and what you already know, then use your imagination. Go use your imagination. Think, okay, how could I acquire this information? How can I acquire this knowledge? Okay, let me go to the library and get some books on this, or let me find a mentor to help me out, or let me let me watch a podcast. Let me or listen to a podcast and listen to somebody who's more knowledgeable in this area and to gain information. Number two is accomplished by one, stimulating the mind so it vibrates on a higher than average plane using one or more of the 10 mind stimulants. Number two, concentrate upon the known factors of the problem and create in the mind a perfect picture of the finished product or solved problem. This is all visualization. Visualization is key as well. And number three, hold this picture in the mind until it has been taken over by the subconscious mind, and then relax by clearing the mind of thought through meditation and wait for the answer to come. Like I said before, when you clear out your mind of the bullshit, then and you open yourself to receiving, then you will receive. Maybe not in 5 minutes, maybe not in 10 minutes, maybe not even in an hour, but you will receive that which you asked for. You feel me? The human mind responds to stimulation. The number one, greatest, and most powerful of the 10 mind stimuli is the urge of sex. Harnessing and transmuting this force leads man to vibrating the mind into a higher realm of thought that enables them to master the sources of worry and petty annoyance that beset their pathway on a lower plane. All too many people lower themselves through misunderstanding and misuse of this great force to the status of the lower animals. If you're, like I said earlier in the presentation, if you're a person who operates off of lust, who sees a woman and the only thing that's on your mind, the first thing that's on your mind when you see a very attractive woman is the only thing that's on your mind when you see a attractive woman is how you can have sex with her, then you are no greater than an animal. You are no better than an animal. That is what animals do. Animals see that dog sees that male dog sees the female dog and thinks, sex. Let me have sex with her. Let me have sex with her just because it's a female, just because she looked pleasing to me. You feel me? You are no greater than an animal at that point. Why people seldom succeed before 40. The major reason why the majority of people who do not succeed before 40 is their tendency to dissipate their energies through overindulgence and physical expression of the emotion of sex, aka masturbating and letting out this sexual energy and not cultivating it and transmuting it towards a worthy ideal, or just or just being a sex addict and fucking left and right and just doing nothing but feeding their ego and believing that having sex with all these women. I remember I was like this at one point. I thought that having sex with the most women and having sex with a lot of women, especially if they're very physically attractive, was just like one of the things to do as a guy. You want to have sex with a bunch of women, especially you want to get the baddest ones. You want to get the ones that look the most attractive and whatnot, right? But no, you want to cultivate this energy and use it towards a worthy ideal instead of just dissipating it through just overindulgence in sex, just having sex with multiple women, just draining yourself over and over and over again, all for the sake of a couple minutes or hours of pleasure. The majority of those who make this discovery, which is sex transmutation, succeed after having wasted many years when the sex energy is at its height prior to the age of 45 to 50. Understand, my people, is that if you're a young person like me, if you in your 20s, this is the prime of your sexual energy. This is when if you're a woman, this is when you are the most fertile in your 20s if you're a woman. Your sexual energy is at its height. You're the most you're the most your sexual energy is at its height. Your sex drive is usually the highest when you're young. If you're a woman, if you're a man, whoever that you are, you know, you have all this energy within yourself. You're in your youth, you know. So being young and understanding this will put you ahead of majority of other people because the majority of people are giving in to their biological prerogative, which is to just have sex and procreate. Communication of sex energy. Highly sexed people are the most efficient sales reps due to a factor of the personality known as personal magnetism, which is nothing more or less than sex energy. This energy may be communicated to others through the following media. The handshake. The touch of the hand indicates instantly the presence of magnetism or the lack of it. The tone of voice. Magnetism or sex energy is the factor with, with which the voice may be colored or made musical and charming. I put a picture of Snoop Dogg here because if you're a person who listen to Snoop's music or you just heard his music before you or just heard him in an interview, just heard him talking in general, he he has his voice is his gift. He has a voice which is just naturally just very musical. Like his voice, like just him talking normally is like a song. You feel me? Like at least that's just what I think. Number three, posture and carriage of the body. Highly sexed people move briskly and with grace and ease. You feel me? You notice that like when you're out and about, you see many people, especially older people, especially the elders, the older generation of people, those who are in their 60s and above and whatnot. You see that a lot of them have this hunched over posture. They have this hunched over posture, this bad posture and whatnot, this forward neck and whatnot, and all that. You know, part of it is part one. Well, it's due to their lifestyle. Yes, their lifestyle of just like sitting too much or whatever they might be doing. But it's also due to them not being as highly sexed anymore, not having as much sexual energy, not being their sexual energy not being as potent as it once was when they were in their youth. You feel me? And number four, the vibrations of thought. Highly sexed people mix the emotions of sex with their thoughts, or may do so at will, and in that way may influence those around them. Now you must understand that when you mix the emotion of sex with your thoughts, it's not just like macking. It's not just mac. It's not just macking, which is, you know, to my people who don't know the lingo, flirting. with a female just in order to get her number or whatever is also just the way in which you say things, like the way in which you say things, the way that you express certain words, certain ideas, certain things. That's mixing the emotion of sex with your thoughts. You know. Number five, body adornment. People who are highly sex are usually very careful about their personal appearance. They usually select clothing of a style becoming to their personality, physique, complexion, etc. For example, right, I put a Buddhist monk and these guys here next to each other for a reason. You will never catch the Buddhist monk who is a person who vibrates at a high plane and whatnot, and dedicates his life to vibrating at this higher plane and staying in this airplane. You will never catch the Buddhist monk dressing like these guys on the right, you know. And I'm not going to say that these guys on the right aren't people who vibrate on a high plane. They just might be they might be monks themselves. You feel me? But what I'm saying is that the way in which a person dresses has a lot to do with who they are as a person. What a police officer puts on the uniform of a police officer. A stripper is naked or puts on the uniform of a stripper when she's on the pole. You know, when you go into the gym, you put on the uniform of gym apparel or whatnot. It's mostly guys sometimes don't really be caring, right? But when it mostly women and stuff, you see mostly women. Women will wear nigga, every girl in the gym got on the same leggings damn near. They all got this. It's like two, three brands of leggings that all these women wear in the gym, and they put. But it's a uniform. You know the gym. It's a uniform that they put on in order to go and accomplish whatever task that they're doing. Intemperance and sex habits. Intemperance and sex habits are just as detrimental as intemperance in drinking and eating. In this moment in time, sex intemperance is very common. Humans are the only creatures on earth that violate nature's purpose in this connection. Every other animal indulges in sex in moderation and with purpose that harmonizes with the laws of nature. Every other animal indulges in sex in season, while humans have declared open season. Humans, we're the only people out here who have sex for pleasure and and let out the energy, let out their sexual energy just for simple pleasure and whatnot. You know, we were made to cultivate our sexual energy in order to reach higher states of consciousness, in order to procreate, create another life. We weren't using your sexual energy just for a pleasurable activity is a lower, a lower plane. That's a lower ideal when it comes to using your sexual energy. That's just lust. That's you're an animal. You feel me? Now the road to genius thinking. The road to genius consists of the development, control, and use of sex, love, and romance. Encourage the presence of these emotions to be the dominating thoughts in your mind and discourage the presence of all negative and destructive emotions. Through willpower, discourage the presence of any emotions that do not serve you. This is achieved through persistence and habit. And transmute any negative emotion into a positive, constructive emotion. And now, the only road to genius is through voluntary self effort. Now, you must understand. Let me read this first. All may achieve great things through the transmutation and driving force of sex energy and mind stimulants. History has shown that many carry with them character traits that hinder their progress towards success. Self-analysis, thought, meditation are some of the keys to use in order to accomplish whatever goal and vibrate on whatever higher plane or vibrate on whatever plane that you choose or accomplish whatever purpose that you choose to fulfill. You feel me? Uh, Now, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about when I say that history has shown that many carry with them character traits that hinder their progress towards success. If you know all my people who watch Dragon Ball Z, then you know
was very different than Kakarot's.
about Vegeta's story of going Super Saiyan for the first time, which I'll show right now.
My motivation was to be the best, to be the greatest Saiyan alive as I always had been, until Kakarot came into the picture, that is. Kakarot's success was like a demon in my head. How could he be a Super Saiyan when I, the Prince of all Saiyans, could not? The intensity of my training was maddening. At 450 times normal gravity, a basic training game became a desperate struggle for survival. Even the simplest moves required every ounce of willpower I had. I wasn't sure how long I could sustain the effort without breaking in two. It seemed like the only thing holding my body together was my one desire, to be better than Kakarot. At times I thought I was losing my mind. Why couldn't I obtain what Kakarot had obtained? It didn't make sense. It was infuriating, and it was my fury that kept me alive. I decided to continue my training in the solitude of space, where I would be unhindered by the distractions of the Earth. And when a violent electrical storm erupted in the skies of the planet I was on, I welcomed it. It seemed fitting, like it was an outward manifestation of the storm that was raging inside of me. Then the meteors started coming down, but I was determined to survive and to protect my ship from destruction. It was my only way out, my only way off that nightmarish heap of rubble. I thought I had everything under control, but then the mother of all meteors seemed to appear out of nowhere to claim my ship and my life. Normally, it would have been child's play to blow up that rock, but after training at 450 times normal gravity for so long, it took everything I had and more. Kakarot! Then something just snapped, something inside of me. No, no more! That's it! I don't care! I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than Kakarot. I didn't care about being a Super Saiyan. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care about anything. And then it happened. Yes, that's how it happened. That's how I became a Super Saiyan.
Grow your IT security skills on LinkedIn Learning.
Alright, so as you can see, Vegeta only reached Super Saiyan status when he decided to let go of his pride, of his ego, of his desire to just be stronger than Goku, of his desire to just be when he finally decided to just let go of that ego he had, that desire, that whole ego of Prince of the Saiyans, Vegeta, decided to just let go of it all for a minute. When he finally cleared his mind of the things that was hindering him from moving forward, which was his simple desire to accomplish the feat of being a Super Saiyan. That is when he finally attained Super Saiyan status. And now, without further ado, the end, man. Yo, to wrap it all up in a nutshell, to wrap it all up, when it comes to the whole practice of semen retention, when it comes to this whole entire journey, even if you're a person who is on no fat, which is you still having sex or whatever, and but you're just not watching porn, great, good for you, bro, good stuff. That's great right there because you must understand watching pornography is one of the most detrimental things to you as a man. You feel me? Especially being addicted to that stuff is that having any addiction in general is detrimental. That's a demon. You feel me? That's a low vibrational entity within your mind, which seeks to just attain pleasure, attain those lower, it attains to just feed into those lower animalistic traits and characteristics of yourself. You know, that keeps you from ascending to those higher planes and being the better or the best version of yourself. You know, when it comes to the semen retention journey, being on this journey, it's a journey of cultivating yourself, not only of your sexual energy, disciplining yourself sexually, but it's also a spiritual thing as well, where you let go of your desire to have sex with all these different girls, have sex with this one, had to let out your sexual energy, to let out that lust. You let go of lust. That is what this whole journey is about, is letting go of lust for the higher ideals. You feel me? It's about letting go of that lust so that you can become a better version of yourself. You can cultivate this energy, become the natural alpha God version of you, and then manifest what you truly want for yourself. Not just manifest what's given to you or manifest the lower areas of thought, the lower areas of life, but manifest what you choose to manifest for yourself. When you're vibrating on a higher plane of being, you get to manifest what you choose for yourself. You know, that's what this whole journey is about. It's about connecting with God, connecting with the Creator. Not only that, manifesting whatever your higher ideal of life is for yourself, manifesting whatever it is that your purpose is for yourself, manifesting that woman of your dreams instead of just a woman that you can have sex with who's physically appealing, actually manifesting a woman who can magnify your life and help, manifesting a woman who can bring you to higher and higher planes of thought yourself, higher and higher areas in life. Manifesting a woman who you can build with, who you can build a life with, who you can do great things with. You know? Things like that. So without further ado, man, to each and every one of you who watched this presentation from beginning to end, I salute you for real, because I enjoyed giving this presentation. My whole purpose, part of my purpose in life, is raising the consciousness of this planet, especially raising the consciousness of my black people, helping us return back to Mother Earth, back to Mother Nature, back to the source, mentally, spiritually, you know, helping all my people return, whether it don't matter what your race is, it don't matter who you are, helping all my people return to, helping all my people get a better connection with themselves. You feel me? Helping you to manifest whatever it is that you want for your life. You know what I'm saying? Helping you to accomplish whatever purpose that you choose, accomplishing the purpose that was embedded to you, embedded within you to accomplish from birth. Because we all came into this life the same way. We all came in through our mothers. We all came in through the womb. We all came in as infants, as babies. We all came in the same way. And at the same time as that, we were all given a purpose for our lives that is within us, that gives us fulfillment, makes us happy. You feel me? We were all given this purpose which on the journey to fulfilling this purpose and the journey to doing it, there's ups and downs and whatnot. But ultimately this purpose was made for you because you know the reason why. The purpose is within you. You know what your purpose is. You know what you're here for. You know what you're here for. And if you don't know what you're here for, then it's probably because you're distracting yourself. It's probably because you're tranquilizing yourself through bullshit on the TV, through bullshit on the radio, through bullshit that you're putting into your body in form of food, through letting go of your then through throwing out your sexual energy and just overindulging in things. You know, get into meditation, get into visualization, visualize the person that you truly want to be. Visualize a higher version of yourself. Start to meditate. Start to get into meditation and learn who you truly are. Learn who you truly are behind your ego. Learn who you truly are behind your desires, behind any of the things that you desire to have within this world. Learn who you truly are. You know? And once you learn who you truly are, you understand who you truly are, then you know exactly why you're here. And once you know exactly why you're here, then you know exactly what you need to do. And on that note, I appreciate all of you for coming in here and watching this presentation. I'm Jay Benz the Light, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.